The disappearance at Angikuni Lake. In November of 1932, a fur trapper named Joe LaBelle arrived at a remote Inuit village near Angikuni Lake, located in northern Canada. What he found that day is still regarded as one of the most mysterious and unnerving disappearances in modern history. The village, typically home to dozens of Inuit people, was completely deserted. There was no sign of a struggle, no traces of hasty departure, just an eerie, unnatural silence. As LaBelle entered the village, the scene was unsettling. The fires in the homes were still warm, and food was left half-eaten on tables. The village's sled dogs, often tied outside, were found frozen and starved, left behind with no explanation. The residents, their families, had vanished without a trace. There was no disturbance, no chaos. It was as if the entire village had simply disappeared overnight, leaving behind a scene frozen in time. Immediately, LaBelle rushed to the nearest telegraph office over 20 miles away to report what he had found. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police, RCMP, responded quickly to the news, arriving at the scene to investigate. But what they uncovered only deepened the mystery. The residents of the village were nowhere to be found, and there were no clues left behind to explain their disappearance. The investigation uncovered strange details. Graves that had been mysteriously dug up, no footprints leading away from the village, and no signs that the people had left voluntarily. Despite the shocking nature of the discovery, the investigation was quickly swept under the rug. Official reports about the case were vague, and the government made no public statement regarding what had happened. In fact, after the initial investigation, the case was essentially dropped and became a subject of silence and denial. Newspapers that had briefly covered the mysterious event quickly moved on, leaving only whispers and speculation in its wake. This disappearance has since become one of the most puzzling mysteries in Canadian history, with various theories attempting to explain the events. Some suggest that the Inuit people simply migrated to another location, though this explanation fails to account for the eerie conditions of the village when LaBelle arrived. Others believe the people were taken, perhaps abducted by extraterrestrials, a theory popularized by the strange lights seen in the sky around the time of the disappearance. This idea adds a supernatural layer to the mystery, suggesting that the village's residents were somehow involved in an event beyond human understanding. Another theory is that the village's disappearance could have been tied to military experiments or a government cover-up. Some speculate that the Inuit people discovered something that was not meant to be found, an ancient secret or a hidden truth, and were subsequently silenced. This theory suggests that the village's disappearance was purposeful, an act designed to eliminate those who might have uncovered something dangerous. Despite the various theories, there is no concrete evidence to support any of them. The case has become one of those stories that continue to fuel speculation, but no definitive answers have ever been found. The story of Angikuni Lake is a chilling reminder that some things are better left unsolved, because the truth might be far more terrifying than we can imagine. In the years since the disappearance, no official investigation has been reopened, and the story has largely faded from the public consciousness. The place itself has been largely forgotten, with only a few scattered references in old newspapers and local folklore to keep its memory alive. Yet the case continues to intrigue those who hear about it, spurring curiosity, speculation, and endless questions. Was it a mass abduction, a military experiment gone wrong, or something far darker, something tied to the very fabric of reality itself? The mystery of Angikuni Lake remains one of the most enduring and perplexing enigmas, a story of lost lives, unanswered questions, and a place that refuses to yield its secrets. As time passes, the silence surrounding this event only deepens. The people of the village are gone, and the evidence that could explain their fate is buried, forgotten, or perhaps deliberately erased. But the questions remain. What really happened to the residents of Angikuni Lake? Why did they vanish? And why has the truth been kept hidden for so long? In the end, the mystery persists, not because of the lack of information, but because the answers may be something we are not ready to face. The story of Angikuni Lake is one of those rare cases where the search for answers only deepens the enigma, leaving us with more questions than we started with. As with so many mysteries, we may never know the full truth. But the story of the lost village of Angikuni Lake remains, an eerie reminder that some things are better left in the shadows, where they can never be truly uncovered.